The 390 ranking points Alex Eala earned here last year are about to expire, and she has just arrived at the 2026 Miami Open. Not after her first game. Not tomorrow. A quarter of everything she has created is currently being silently erased by the 52-week rolling mechanism while the throng assemble and the cameras roll. The clock is already running, and the queen has come. This is not a tale about a moment that went viral. This is a tale about what Alex Eala truly needs to do, and what happens if she doesn't.
It's been quite a thrill ride for her this last year as well. She had some great results coming from a wildcard position as well.
James Blake, the director of the Maths tournament, has already verified that no one is celebrating. Regardless of the seating arrangement, Eala will have center court at the 2026 Miami Open. Stadiums are packed with Filipinos from all around the world. When I play, broadcast numbers rise, and when she goes, they fall. Fans were actually crammed into smaller venues that were unable to accommodate the demand in Melbourne and Abu Dhabi. Blake had a straightforward response for Miami. Put Eala on the largest court available for each and every game. However, James Blake is unable to solve the number 390 using a court assignment. With a career-high 1,525 ranking points as of March 16, 2026, Alex Eala is ranked 29th in the world. Exactly 390 of the 1,525 points were obtained at this tournament a year ago. That represents almost 25% of her total ranking. Those points started to vanish as soon as the 2026 Miami Open draw opened. Her base falls to 1,145 if they are not replaced, and based on the forecasts, that will be sufficient to move her back to a position between 50 and 60. Tickets are sold at the Queen framing. The Maths doesn't give a damn.
I think we're going to need them to be on center court because they have so many fans worldwide. And
where the legend originated. You must revisit Miami 2025 in order to truly comprehend Miami 2026. As a 19-year-old wild card with a ranking of 140, Alex Eala entered the competition. After the first week, there is no realistic path, no seeding, and no protection. In the Open era, no Filipino player had ever accomplished what followed. IA defeated 3 major winners in straight sets at the same event, becoming her the first wild card in WTA history to do so. Not 1, 3. The 2017 French Open winner, Jelena Ostapenko, lost 7-6 and 7-5. The tournament's atmosphere was entirely changed by the Filipino spectators in the arena that day. Eala's defensive baseline strategy then defeated 2025 Australian Open champion Madison Keys in straight sets. The match that altered everything then arrived. Quarterfinals. World number 2 at the time and a 5-time Grand Slam champion. After losing 6-2, 7-5 to a 19-year-old wildcard who had been training at the Rafa Nadal Academy since she was 13, Iga left the court. The run came to an end in the semifinals. Eala was defeated by Jessica Paula 7-6-5 to 7-6-3. However, those 390 ranking points propelled Eala into the top 100 and ultimately the top 30. These are now the precise points that require replacement. The governor was absent, and the queen arrived. One such narrative about Florida Governor Ron DeSantis activating __3 for Alex Eala's arrival has dominated viral content in the days preceding Miami 2026. A royal welcome for a tennis player at the state level. The facts are crucial in this situation. This script's documentation is unambiguous. No official government source or traditional media outlet has verified the statements. The __4 narrative, the quote _5 all seem to originate from a very particular area of the digital content economy. The quote _6 storytelling niche that has developed genuine cultural power around its name. But this doesn't always stop to distinguish between confirmation and hype. As a high-profile seed and important source of income, Eala is granted more security and access to the media. What has been verified? The center court ruling was issued by James Blake. What has been verified? The presence of the Filipino diaspora at Eala's games is a proven, quantifiable, and commercially significant phenomena. A true cultural fact is reflected in the quotation _7 title. A digital invention is the governor's protocol. And that's when things start to get fascinating, because the difference between those two realities reveals something crucial about who is in charge of Alexandra Eala's story and what occurs off camera. The crown's fragility. Eala's growth has been demonstrated by the 2026 season. She faced the 4th-ranked player in the world, Coco Gauff, at Indian Wells. She was ahead 6-2, 2-0, until Gauff withdrew due to an arm injury. That opening set was cited by analysts as evidence that Eala can actually contend with the world's top 5. However, it is impossible to ignore what transpired in the very following game. Czech Republic, Linda Noskova. The final score was 2-6-0-6. A collapse so total that it appeared as though a new player had entered. The problem is that this isn't an isolated incident. Training under Joan Bosch and David Gomez at the Rafa Nadal Academy, Alexandra Eala has a career record of 11 loses and 0 wins versus Czech opponents. Every surface, every level, 0 and 11. In particular, IA has not discovered a solution against Czech players. Why is explained by the numbers. The elite top 5 on the WTA Tour is her return game. 39.3% of return games were successful. Constant pressure on the serves of the opposition. With 61.3% of those points won, her first serve stands at 65.5%. However, only 10 aces, less than 1 every match, and 39 double faults, 3 per match on average, were made in those same 13 games. Those figures become a serious issue when facing Czech baseliners who get everything back and penalize every second serve that is lost. The energy comes from the crowd. The doubt is created by the serve. The draw developed in the replay. Nevertheless, the 2026 Miami draw has subtly, even purposefully, set things up. Miami is home to Igaic, after Orion Sablanka won the 2026 Indian Wells title and maintained the top slot in the global rankings. 5 Grand Slam victories, are currently ranked 3rd. In the 3rd round, Swiatek is expected to face Eala. Nor the semifinals, nor the quarterfinals, the 3rd round. Eala shocked her 6-2, 7-5 in the quarterfinals of 2025. The story of retaliation almost writes itself. However, the maths is significantly altered by a 3rd-round collision. After a year of researching the 6-2 7:5 loss, Swiatek arrives sooner and with greater urgency. With 390 points already lost and the ranking clock running, Eala arrives still trying to find her flow. Eala developed her big top spin, left-handed angles, and early take baseline aggression at the Nadal Academy. Once, the tools were used against Swat. Miami 2026 does not yet know the answer to the issue of whether they can hold against a player who has had a full year to develop the counter. In the meanwhile, the marquee is shared by Joel Fona, the other named James Blake confirmed for Stadium Court priority. Following Ella's round of 16 elimination at Indian Wells, broadcast partners saw a sharp decline in viewing. These two participants are the focal point of a covert reorganization of the 2026 Sunshine Swings business architecture. In the final rounds, Miami needs Eala. It is essential to the tournament economy. What? $1,745,329 is insufficient. Alexandria Eala's career prize money was $1,745,329 as of March 16, 2026. Nike, Adidas, the Philippine Sports Writers Association Athlete of the Year Award, public recognition from Martina Navratilova and Maria Sharapova's fanbase, which literally exceeded the logistics of 2 different international events and had organizers reconsider how they schedule her matches. Eala has talked about how proud she is to be Filipino and a trailblazer for a nation lacking a sizable domestic tennis infrastructure. It is more than just a symbolic cultural weight. Ticket sales, television ratings, and the choices tournament directors make weeks before the first ball is struck are all examples of how it manifests. But none of that replaces a ranking point. The dates of the 2026 Miami Open are March 17, 29. Eala is sitting at either number 31 or number 32. The purchase in the first round is assured. What is not assured? 390 points. What is not assured? She is winning the switch rematch for the second time. What is not assured? The ranking that, in the first place, makes the rest of this tale feasible. In Linz, Austria, Clay season begins on April 6th. The French Open is coming up. It is mathematically possible to reach the top 20. As the top-ranked Filipino, Olympic qualification has already been secured. First, though, March 2026 at Miami Hard Rock Stadium. Before the first serve is delivered, she has already lost a quarter of her ranking. Alex Eala's deservingness of the Queen frame, the people, the economy, and the historic 2025 run was never truly questioned. It's all documented, and it's all real. It's a more difficult question.